thought our team did a great job of, kind of treating just like a bunch of professionals today coming out and playing after the big emotional weekend. And, yesterday was a light day, a day off for the most part. And for them to come out and just bounce around, have fun, and, play pretty well for the most part. It was good. It was good to see.
I wanted to ask you about you had Pepe and Helfrich and Thomas. They'd all been scuffling a little bit there toward the bottom, and all of them had pretty good days at the plate. How much does a day like this could potentially be a momentum confidence builder for him?
Yeah, I mean that's one reason I wanted to get Pepe back out there, and he's a good hitter, and it's good to see him get a couple hits, get hit by a pitch. I think he drove in 4 runs or so, 3 or 4 today, and it was a big confidence day for him. He knows he can hit, and just hadn't happened yet. And they start pressing. You're at new school. It all adds it up a little bit. If you don't get off to a really good start, Souza, he's really pressing. It's one reason I played him today, just to try to, see if we could get him to feel better in the box. And I think he did a better job today. He didn't have much to show for it, but he did drive in a run with with a walk or no ground ball to second or something. But yeah, I mean the guys you mentioned, they're pretty good players, good hitters, and sometimes you just need to get some at bats under your belt, and relax, and hopefully that happened for a couple of those guys today.
And then how do you explain this run that Cahill is on, and how happy are you that it includes against right-handers, including left or as well as left?
Yeah, he's hot. I mean, he's got some bat speed. Obviously, when he hits it, I think he had 4 hits today, and I think the exit velocity of the slowest was like 106 or 7. Pretty amazing. The single at the middle, we didn't even see it in the dugout. It's kind of a weird light at the time down there with the shade and stuff, but it was absolutely smoked. And he's confident. When he wasn't playing, he just waited his time and kept working. His batting practice today was really good. It's the first time we've hit on the field in about 3 weeks here. I mean, we didn't hit on the field like the whole week before we opened up. And so it was good to get out there a little bit and swing the bat. But it's hard to explain it. I mean, he's a good hitter. And I really loved his last at bat when he hit that line drive to right field. That was a nice at bat.
And then when you were talking about the radio, you said that you thought maybe getting Maxwell out in the field might help him offensively. Did you feel like that was the case?
Yeah, just to get that feeling of running on and off the field and not DHing, or you're sitting in the dugout. DHing's hard. You got to find a way to mentally keep yourself in the game and, move around and what works for you. And I just thought we'd put him out there. And, I don't know if his leg is 100%, but it's getting there. Even on the ball he tagged up on, he wasn't running full speed to the plate. But, I thought he had a nice day, a couple of hits, and scored 3 runs.
Good to see Carson kind of pound the zone today after his start or his appearance over the weekend.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's one reason we wanted to get him out there. I think, Coach called down there, before he came out. And, I think the comment was, want to make sure you're ready to roll and you want to go out there. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he didn't care that there could be a run rule game. A lot of times pitchers, they don't like that a whole lot. Like, oh, they're just putting me in at the end. He wanted to get on the mound because what happened in Arlington? We hadn't seen that here. I mean, he threw 2 balls to the backstop and walked a guy, and it just wasn't good. And, his misses had been fairly close. And today, right back on it. So hopefully that's over with and he learned from it. And now he's good from here on in.
Heard your update on Gage on the pregame radio show. Is what you said is the goal to the timeline to hopefully have him back by the SEC play?
Well, I think, kind of what I had mentioned to me would be, maybe the quickest we'd see him back is in 3 weeks, and the longest, if everything goes good, would be 5 to 6 weeks. And I just had impingement in there. There's, the MRI didn't show any tears, any damage from what I've been told. And, now he's got to get the inflammation down in there and then build back up. And knowing Gage, it'll be shorter than longer because it's hard to outwork him.
Was it something that just randomly popped up in Arlington, or had there been maybe any previous concern at all?
Yeah, there hadn't been any concern, and I had a few things explained to me, about what he does, but no, there has been nothing with him.
I guess Jimenez had. I guess Jimenez hadn't gone since opening day, and Eves made his debut. I guess does that just kind of speak to the depth that you have guys that were 11, 12 days into the season, and
Yeah, I think so a little bit. First off, I mean, I thought Aiden threw the ball outstanding, especially the first couple three hitters. I mean, we were kind of like, wow. I mean, I know the board said 94, so it could have been 95. A lot of times that's what it is, but and it was downhill. It had heavy sink on it. Strikes out the hitter, just kind of blew him away. The second hitter, I mean, he didn't get a call. He probably gets a strike three on that slider, and then he ends up giving up I think maybe a walk there, and then he gives up a hit. But our comments in dugout were like from the side going, this guy, that's going to be good down the road. He's going to help us. And even though he gave up a run or whatever, we were very impressed with what we saw. But I guess to answer your question, yeah, I mean, we've got some depth. Just trying to get those guys in, get them work, get them comfortable in a real game.
and then 5 start 3 pretty solid clean innings there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the last inning was his best inning. The first inning, get ahead of you real quick, don't finish you off, and that's been his battle a little bit. Get up on your 1-2, and then next though, it's 3-2. He had some 3-2 counts, and I think 2 or 3 hitters he had started it with a 1-2 count. Next thing you know, it goes to 3-2. Some wasted pitches, and because some of them weren't close, but I really liked the way he recovered there and through that third inning.
I don't know if we'll talk to you again for the Charlotte series. So, I mean, obviously Gage won't go this weekend. Is the thought that Vital Seas would move back into that third spot?
Yeah, I mean, it's not 100%, but I mean, that would be the obvious choice as of right now, unless something changes. We had 4 starters the first weekend with 4 games in a row, and then 3 this past weekend brought him out of the pen. So, I mean, can't tell you 100%, but that's what it's looking like.
It seems like your teams, you always kind of have a longer homestand about this time of the year, and you learn a lot about your team. During this homestand, what are you wanting to learn about your team?
Well, I told our guys that before the game. I said, we're going to be here for, I think, 10 games in a row before we head out to Ole Miss. I don't know exactly what it is. And I said, we need to find out a lot about some guys. We need to get some guys rolling. You guys need to show us what to do a little bit. And, my comment to the players in the outfield just a minute ago was that I like the fact that you're making it hard on me to write up a lineup because some guys are hitting, and there's guys that didn't play today that are going to start Friday that didn't even play today. Like Diggs probably, and I don't know, a couple other guys, but it's a good thing. But this next 10 days or 9 games, I guess we'll mix it up. Obviously, we're going to try to win every game, but we're going to. We got to get some guys in there and find out if we need to platoon guys or not, things like that.
Rocco today, the 2 hits and the 4 RBIs, and they're just singles, pulled singles. Is that something like maybe sometimes just a single can kind of be the thing that turns the momentum around for him? And what did you see from his approach at the plate today?
Well, I think he was over swinging last weekend, and today not so much. Took a pitch or 2. Singles are good, especially when you get 3 in a row like we did in that 1 inning. Then maybe between a walk and somebody hits a double, you've scored 4 or 5 runs. And but no, definitely on the confidence. I mean, I don't know if he had a hit going into today, maybe 1. And yeah, I was really happy for him, because I didn't have to play him today. I just some other guys maybe deserved to play a little bit more, but we saw what he did in the fall, and then he got hurt, and we knew what he was doing here when he got. I mean, I would say our weekends of scrimmages, he was one of our best hitters, hitting home runs and hitting, and then he got up to kind of a rough start. So just today was for him in a way to get it going again.
It's been about a week, I think, since we asked you about Hunter Dietz. Any update there?
Yeah, just slow improvement. it's time, isn't it? It'd be nice. We're wanting him to get out there. He's not ready yet, but you know, in a perfect world, if we can get him back to the way he was the fall of his freshman year, he's really going to help us. But you know, thankfully right now we're okay. But if we could add a big left-handed arm out of the pen, out of meet, you know, at a minimum, that would be big.
And then on your focus has been on other games. Is there anything you know about Charlotte that you can share?
You know, not much. I mean, we were looking at some video of them from their series this past weekend, and yeah, I mean, they're starting 4 right-handers. They got a good closer. Um, they made a nice comeback last Friday. They were losing pretty good, and they came back and won that game, or they would have probably lost. I think they would have got swept. But yeah, I mean, it's still early in different league, and teams have a lot of new players all the time now. So sometimes you got to dig into some things. Then when they get junior college players, you can't find anything hardly. So, you know, and the thing is, I tell our guys, if we just do what we can do, scouting reports are great. They're going to help you. But if you go play well, you throw strikes and you field, put the bat on the ball, you got a chance to win every game.
All right, Coach, it's your time.
Okay. All righty.